All right, you are live. It says so. Great. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are based in the world and where you are watching us from. Today, I'm coming here with another interview from the series I do on my page, Online Biz Chat, with a business owner from our global online business community. And today, I have the pleasure to have as my guest Farhana. She's based in South Africa, which is a 9 hour difference. It's an evening for her. It's noon for me here in Vancouver, but we still managed to make that work. And today, Farhana will share with us a bit about herself, her background, how she came into this business, and actually her previous business background, because she has quite a lot of experience, and I look forward to hearing that from her. So without further ado, Farhana, the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. And to, is it Luiza? Is that how you pronounce your name?
Luiza, yeah?
Luiza, sorry, Luiza, okay. Luiza, okay. So, thank you for having me on your page. And greetings to everybody wherever you are, in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, wherever you are. And whoever's catching us on the replay, as Louisa mentioned, my name is Fadana and I'm from South Africa. I am a wife, a mom, and a student, and I'm also a digital business owner. So I've made the transition from traditional entrepreneur to digital entrepreneur. So I'm basically just very excited to explain to everybody what that entails. And so, yeah. Thanks for having me on your page.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us, for that quick introduction. So I can't help myself but ask you, can you give us a bit more information about your previous business experience? You mentioned to me that you've been into the traditional business environment for quite a long time. I think over 10 years. So maybe a bit more about what was your business before, and how and why you decided to switch to the online business environment, and what differences do you find with both?
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so that question is interesting, obviously, right? Because to some people, it would still be like you're still in business. So, what is this transition that you're speaking about? But really, so let me just put it all into perspective, basically. How I even came about on this journey of an entrepreneur was really just so coincidental, because I actually, I was studying office management and technology, and I always knew that I wanted to eventually do something for myself, right? But at you're so young when you're early teenage, you don't know exactly what that is at that point. So anyway, I got my first office manager job, and I was very happy about it, because my son, I just had my son, and he was 8 months old. I waited for him to be old enough that made me feel comfortable to go out there and get a job. And so when I did, I was very happy. And
Mm-hmm.
then as it were, I was actually invited to attend like a workshop, a live workshop actually, and the speaker over there, and I didn't know what it was all about. It was the very first time I was attending something like this. I was like just going to please the person and whatever. I had no clue what it was really, what it entailed, right? And then as I sat in this presentation, and obviously this was the very first time that entrepreneur was presented to me in this way, like this concept of business, and we are introduced to the four quadrants of business, the business model of the employee versus the self-employed versus the business owner, and then moving on to the investor, right? So that was so when I heard all of this, and I was like hook, line, and sinker, I completely fell for this whole concept, because I just thought that this is like so something that I want to do. I don't actually want to be working for a boss forever and a day, and I want to be looking after my own children. And so that job that I was going to be starting, I was on a 6 month probation, and I knew early on in the probation that it was probably going to become permanent, because my boss was very happy with me. And then I just like almost halfway through, I would say that I attended this, and I thought, oh my gosh, is my calling? What's happening here? And then anyway, I went for it. I completed my probation, and then I told him, unfortunately, I'm not taking the job because like he actually thought that I found a better job and whatever because he like really wanted me to have it. And then I was like, I'm not. I'm gonna start because he couldn't believe that I was gonna leave a job to go start my own thing, right? To go do my own thing because like I'm so young, I hardly work. Just came out of college, hardly work. Hardly have any work experience, and yeah, I'm gonna go start my own business. Like what? No, he didn't want to believe that. So he thought that I was actually being employed by someone else. And so when I started, right, like we were selling, doing holiday stuff, and it was so interesting and it's so fascinating to me, right? Because we did have training there, and we did have a community of people that we worked with, but and so obviously I did well in it. I did good in it. Like really, I went all in and I did my thing. And but it was short lived because I suppose like many entrepreneurs, we go through like that high and low, and then obviously you don't persevere in whatever you were supposed to do. Although I must say I stuck it out quite long. I had done that business because I was for more than 2 years, doing that. But and then I moved on to something else, right? Because when I did that, I once again didn't want to be in a job because I was now at home with my children. I was experiencing that freedom of looking after my own children whilst earning, right? So I knew that this was something that I wanted to do, so I kept on doing that. And so when I did that, found something else again. I went into that, did well in that also. You get the results that you have to achieve and all of that. And then again, it was also short lived. And then eventually I went into retail, right? So by the time I had my daughter, my son was at that point 5, going on to 6. My daughter was almost a year old. And then I started with the clothing and food retail. And the thing about traditional business, right? So there are many overhead. Luckily for me, the way that I designed my business, or that way I was still operating from home. So I didn't have. I was lucky that I didn't have rental and all those other overheads that many business owners do have. Um, but although that was where I was wanting to hit, but what always kept me back from taking that step was that big sort of commitments that I knew that I was going to have to eventually, And while I could be running a deal from at home and sort of saving me costs, that is what kept me back from going that step. But eventually, as the climate was changing here in South Africa, it started becoming taxing because you always have to keep up with the trend. You have to know what's the best thing, you have to know what's new, you have to know what's on the market. Then obviously your money also lies in stock, right? And then you also, because you're doing everything by yourself, you're a buyer, you need to know what's happening in the market space, you need to keep up to date, you need to be doing the shopping, you need to be going out there. And so obviously if I am not working in my business, then my business is not making money, right? So if I'm not going out there and selling, basically, then I am not in business. I'm not making an income, and so all of those things eventually were just weighing on me in terms of business here in South Africa. It's very competitive. It's just like that's on another level. Like the clothing industry and footwear industry, the competitiveness is just like on another level. So anyway, it was at that point that I actually, 2018, I decided to give it up. All my businesses. I just spoke to my husband, and it was a tough choice. There was a lot of other things going on in my life, like spiritually and things like that. I just wasn't well. So the things wasn't sitting well with myself, but I'd given it up, and I'm very glad that I did actually because it wouldn't have led me here where I am right now. So the main difference that I can say between digital and like the traditional business is that being in the online space, right, and being introduced to all these things that make our business function optimally so effectively because there are all these systems in place, right? We have the funnel system, we have the email campaign, we have all of these things, the training, the website, everything that just sort of streamlines your business and takes so much weight of your business. And our business, which is my favorite part about it, is that we don't focus on selling. We don't focus on what is the next big thing you need to sell and you need to know. Our focus is on training people. And for me, that is powerful. And I love that part of the business because I'm all about training and development. So that was a mouthful. But yeah,
Oh,
that's what.
wow. So you actually have quite a lot of experience with trying different things before you start this business, right?
Yeah.
So you running a business, especially when you do it by yourself, it gets quite overwhelming. There are a lot of things that depend on you. Basically, everything depends on you, and you are the person responsible for everything as you mentioned, market research, product research. You need to be aware of what people are looking for to buy. You need to have these contacts with the manufacturers of what you're actually selling, right? So you need to take care of the marketing part so that people actually see and know you so they can buy whatever you're selling,
You
right?
have to
So
do sourcing because your prices have to be competitive. You have to have that profit line so that it's obviously worth it for you to even sell that line of item that you're gonna you know what I'm saying. So it's like a lot of things. It's like, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and it kind of takes a lot of your time because when you have children to look after, you have your household to run as well, and you have all those business responsibilities. It gets quite difficult to manage all of that, and with our online business, it's a very different model where, as you say, it's already kind of a established and
Mm,
streamlined process. You
yeah,
just need to plug in. You need to, of course, go through the training and the initial technical setup, which you have support to do that.
mm,
And then it kind of gets low maintenance, very easy for you to manage, but you have that time to take care of your kids, right? So yeah, I guess
yeah.
this is why it's so actually successful. We are over 90,000 worldwide currently, and
Because I
this is
think
quite a new concept. We're only 5-year old, 6-year old. The system, the way it is set up, and the way it works. So it speaks for itself. I guess the numbers speak for themselves. Perfect. All right. So can you just tell us a bit about how you found out about the business? Did you know someone who was doing that, or it just you saw an ad somewhere, or it was
I
a
remember I
coincidence?
said that. Yeah, I remember I said that in 2018 I given up on businesses. Right, I was tired
Yeah.
of we were constantly having to sell. People already knew me for Dana as the person that, okay, what does she what does she have now? What's on sale and whatever. So the thing is, with me, last year when the pandemic hit, and obviously my husband lost half of his salary. So many of us had experienced this, right? Some of us with salary, some of us lost jobs, meaning companies were closing down. And then
Hmm.
once again, it hit me, something that I always knew at the back of my head, that job security is not a real thing. And I've always known that to be in the quadrant of business, in the B and the I quadrant, was always better, right? But you become complacent basically, right? And then you get in that comfort zone, and then you forget, even though you know these things, you just you just become comfortable. But obviously the pandemic literally shook so many of us out of our complacency, right? It just made us realize once again what the truths were. And so when that had happened, and then I once again knew that I needed to do something. But funnily enough, I wasn't thinking in lines of business because of having that. Because I'm like, what am I going to sell in the pandemic and to who? And it's lockdown, and what do people need? That's like, once again, that competitiveness. What am I going to sell? That was my thing, right? So that's why business was not an idea that I had in mind. I wanted to work from home for a
Hmm.
boss.
Hmm.
Which I haven't done in over 13 years. I don't even know what I was thinking at that time. But anyway, um, and so the scrolling, and I stumble upon the ad. And then what obviously attracted me to the ad was the fact that there was a family. And I just thought that this person wouldn't put themselves out there with this family if this wasn't something that was real. and
Mm-hmm.
then I clicked on it, and then the write up that said no inventory, no selling, full training, all of these things that offered a business, but with none of the things that kept me from wanting to do business again. And so obviously I was like, wait,
Right.
entrepreneur for what is this about? And then I just clicked on it. I didn't even wait for the live. I just wanted the information, so I watched the replay, and then I was once again sold,
So
basically.
wonderful. So you just saw an ad of someone you didn't know on social media, and it started from
This
watching that
this time, yeah,
webinar,
yeah.
right?
So
How long ago? How long have you been in that business?
so that was actually last year May. What are we now? July, July. When July?
Yeah, we're July. We're July now.
Lockdown. Lockdown is messing up
I
my
know.
calendar.
Same with me. Yeah.
Okay, so last year May, right? I stumbled across the ad because like I was really praying for something, and then I stumbled across the ad. I clicked on it. I watched the live webinar. My husband didn't have half of his salary, but I saw the opportunity, right? And I wanted the information. So I purchased a lifetime membership. And even though I knew that there was a 30-day money back guarantee, I still wasn't worried so much about that, right? Because I knew that I needed to have this information, and I knew that I was, because like within business, anything that is worth something, you're going to be paying for it. And so when you are given access to that limited website over there already, I saw that this looks like people know what they're doing, because there you literally just you have that first tab open to you, right? Obviously the whole training website is not open to you, but just that one tab that's open to you,
Hmm.
the way that it was set up, I was like, these people really know what they're doing. And like I say, training and development, that was like a huge part of the attraction to me and what I love about our business the most. And so that is how I came onto it, and how I was just last year May. And so eventually I did have to go and do my due diligence. I immediately also went onto the coaching call, by the way.
Hmm.
Yeah, like the days apart, the webinar, lifetime membership, coaching call were all like days apart. But then after that, I'm from South Africa, so it is a little bit tougher here with in terms of like currency and all of that. So, but I knew that I wanted to do this, but I also wanted to do my due diligence and make sure, because I also have been part of businesses, and I also am aware of scams and things like that that do run online. So I just needed to
Hmm.
make sure that. So
Hmm.
I once I had done that and I got all my answers, I just needed to like I just saved to it, and then in February I was ready. Immediately got onto the coach when I was ready, and I told him, right, I'm ready, let's start, let's get going. So I'm in the business now officially for 5 months. Yeah, for 5 months.
5 months. Wow. Okay, so not that long. All right.
Still a newbie. Still a newbie in the
Still a
business.
newbie. Okay, can you share with us how long does it take you approximately, on average, a day to dedicate to the business? How do you find it in terms of managing the training? How long did it take you to go through the initial training? I mean, time wise, is it
So
too much or no? No, not too much for you.
initially, like the very first day when the training was unlocked, I was super overwhelmed. I thought I was in over my head, because like I was excited about this training, right? Because it's all that you hear about. So I was like, okay, let's what's going on here. And then I saw the training, and I was like, this is hectic. Can I do this? And then one day at a time, I just did the training, and then I think about what, like in 7 days or so, I had completed all of the training. It was probably at that point, a day or two later, that I eventually reached out to my mentor, and I had to ask him a question. And then he was like, "Wait, no, but did you do this, and did you do that, and did you do this?" And I was like, "Yes, I didn't skip any steps," because that's like how I am, right? I'm very OCD. I don't skip steps, and I, even though I knew, like if something was explained in there, and then there was a video presentation, because that is our training website is set up, right? This little training videos that basically teaches you what you need to do and go through it like
Hmm.
that. So it's like awesome for people that's very visual like myself. But I also like agreed. So I did that, and even though I knew, I would still go and watch the video because I just wanted to make sure, that I was dotting my I's, crossing my T's, and all of those things. So I did that, and when I was like, when he was so shocked because he was like, because I messaged him that first day when I'm like, this training, and he was like, just relax, one step at a time, don't skip any
Yeah.
steps and whatever. And then like the next week, I messaged him and I'm that far, and he's like, oh my word, what happened? How did you get this far? So okay, so I'm at home, right? I work from home, so obviously that gives me a little bit more time. And I am the type of person that, if I set myself my mind to something and I want to get it done, then I go for it, right? Um, it's my day is still structured according to my priorities, how I want to do things. Like if I need to go see to the children or if I need to go pray or whatever, that then my work stops. But I am able to dedicate a little bit more time than somebody who's perhaps working. But once your business is set up and your business page is running and you're learning because now we're learning the craft of advertising, right? And that is an ongoing process. I'm still learning all the time. So but cumulatively you would spend 2 to 3 days on your business, 2 to 3 hours, sorry, on your business, and that would obviously exclude like trainings like mastermind Wednesdays and things like that. You would need to dedicate a little bit more time because you need to learn how to do the business. And so yeah, so I mean, if you think of 2 to 3 hours a day,
Yeah.
and you
That.
don't have to sit in traffic. Like if you're not working and you at home, you don't have to sit in traffic, and all the pros that you still get to do this business around your children. Then the earning potential compared to in a business for yourself rather than working for a boss. If you compare the hours, then there's really no comparison. So yeah, it's definitely
Right.
important.
So it's actually 2 to 3 hours a day, being consistent, and it's taking it slowly, one step at a time. Because yes, that there is a lot of information there, and at the beginning it might seem a bit overwhelming, but no one is in a rush. You have complete freedom to decide how fast or how slow you can go through that material in your own time. Perfect. Okay. Um, well, I guess my last question would be for all the people who are considering starting that business, just have come across that information, and they're still hesitant, or maybe they don't think that this is legitimate, that this is a real business. What would you say to them?
I think it was yeah, 2 days ago or on Sunday, Friday, yeah. So I had another interview with myself and two students, right? They're busy. One is a law student and the other one's a biotechnologist, something like that. And they're quite young. I don't know what I was doing on that interview. I am a student, but my what I'm doing is more for personal development and for personal mastery than actually something academic. But anyway, I was
Mhm.
honored to have him. I was honored to be with him in that interview because they're so inspirational, right? They're so young and they already have that proper mindset in place. Because they both of them are currently studying, but they know that even though that they are studying and that is perhaps the career and the passion that they are pursuing, that having a business is still going to be set them up better for success in terms of that financial and that time freedom that we basically all are looking for, because that's what it's about. And for me and for so many other people, it's more about having that time freedom and not having to answer to a boss and not having to fill in a leave form if your child is sick or whatever's happening. Do you know what I'm saying? If you need to go on a vacation, whatever's happening, just to be able to have that sort of control back of your time.
Mhm.
And so to me, it's not that we say that there's anything wrong with a job or anything that you do. As long as you're passionate about it, as long as you love it, as long as you're enjoying it, because I mean, if you're in a job, you're spending so much time here, right? And imagine you doing this and it's literally just for that paycheck, but there's no joy in it. I mean, that's so sad, and life is not about that, right? So to me, if you just want to change that circumstances or you want something better or you are looking for that, that because this is the thing about our people in our community is that we really do have a strong reason as to why it is that we are doing this business, and that a reason is what will keep on driving you and reminding you of why you're doing this business, because in life and in everything, there is up and down. Nothing's ever straight path and it's all hunky dory all the way, right? Especially when we're seeing the success stories of the people in the community. We don't know the journey. All we're seeing is the success, but we don't know how the ups and downs were. And so, for me, you just need to have that willingness to learn. Because here's the thing with our business, you don't need to have any technical or previous business experience. You only need that willingness to learn. You need to come with an open heart, a good opinion, and attentive ear. Be willing to learn and just take some action and make a change. Because change will not come without doing anything differently. You need to do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Yeah, I love the way you said it and wrapped it up. It all starts with the mindset and that determination to do something differently, so you have a different outcome. And for something that you don't really love and enjoy, and is not getting you closer to the life you want. So it all starts with that decision and mindset to take action and to not let your fears determine your life. Because we
yeah,
all have fears. It's normal. It's
yeah,
very human. I don't think that any entrepreneur or business owner has zero fears.
yeah.
It's just part of the journey. But yeah, learn to manage that fear and actually do something every day that gets you closer to your goals. So thank you
Yes.
so much for Hannah. I think that we can wrap it up unless you want to share anything else. I try to keep that at around 20 minutes. I also
Yes.
respect your time and it's late for you.
Yeah.
So thank
No,
you so
thank you
much.
so much, Luiza, for having me on your page. I'm really honored always to be invited to another owners page. And I hope that whoever's listening out there will just, come get over the skepticism and take some action.
Thank you so much for accepting my invite and yeah, for agreeing to do that at such a late hour for you. I
No,
appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I look forward to doing one of those interviews for you in the future when you have the time. So thank
yes.
you everyone for watching, and I guess till next time. Bye from us.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.